Okay, so we're starting out here. We're going to be creating a beautiful Christmas time, holidays fun scene here. A reindeer holding a lantern. I saw this on one of my projects that I was working on recently. Someone had this at their front door, so I had to take a picture. I thought it was really cool, really interesting. So this is some fun holiday stuff. We'll do more of this around the holidays here. Let's see now. This is the photograph that I took on my just my iPhone camera. So you can hit pause if you wanted to and work from this photograph. I think the best way to do this would be to work from my finished painting. I think that's the best way to go. But if you like to work from photographs, you can do it from this too. So you can just hit pause, I guess, on this video right now and then work from this. Maybe you'll watch the video full through one time and then you go back and you start the video again, and then you can pause right here on this beginning of this video and you'll have the this reindeer figure that we're gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna stop and reset up my actually I'll just reset it up now. So we'll start. I'm going to set this up across from me. And we already have everything set up here. We just have to zoom out a little bit. Okay, and I have my watercolor Fabriano paper, rough, extra white paper, set up on my art table. I use a white foam board to set up my tape and my paper on top of, and my palette for recording. And that's really all I have. Simple setup. And then we'll use this. We'll use maybe just a office pencil, a number 2. And the first thing we'll do is I'm looking across from me at the photograph, and I'll just try to get the overall feel of the of this cute reindeer here. So now I can kind of see that we're going to want to probably put the bottom of the reindeer here. So the reindeer's boots will be here. And then I'm just sort of figuring out where everything's going to go. Like this and like this. And all right, so the first thing we do when we're going to do a drawing and painting like this, first thing we'll just do a light preliminary sketch. So I'll get maybe the reindeer's hat there, and his face, and his nose, his eyes, his antlers here. So I'm just kind of doing a very super light sketch. I don't know if you can see that, but so I'm just trying to get it so that it fits within the picture, within our border. Then I say, okay, so his hat, his head, and his face is here. And then if I look carefully at the photograph, his head and hat and face and mouth is approximately the same height as from his shirt, bottom of his chin, down to his bottom of his pants. So I'll take about that same amount of measurement. So from the eraser, top of the head, eraser top, to that H, down here is going to be where his pants are, the cuffs of his pants. So I just did a little bit of a scale there. Okay, so then the cuffs of his pants are here, and then his boots are here. Like that. So now I have very lightly the overall sketch. Now, what we'll do is we'll just start contour drawing this, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can exaggerate things a little bit. You know, you might exaggerate something you want to. You might minimize something you want to, but for the most part, we're going to go with what we're seeing in front of us. So the first thing, let me start here. I'm going to go with the reindeer's hat. He's got a nice hat here and some woolly portions of his hat, and then over here he's got the red portion of the hat, which is here. And then we can do some of the, let's do the antlers. So now the antlers we're going to do very slowly, very carefully, and just follow along the photograph. Keep looking back and forth at the photograph. Look back at your picture, back at the photograph, back at the picture. There we go. That's one antler. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Carefully we look at the photograph. Carefully we look back at our picture. Go nice and slow. Just keep your pencil moving ever so slightly slow. You can make little circular motions as you're going. Maybe like a jogger running in place until you figure out where you're going to go next. So here we go here, then here, and then we go up a little bit. Another turn here. And then one more there. And then a nice swoop down here, like so. And then this over here. And one more here, like that. So his antlers are, you can simplify the antlers a little more if you want. So there we have it. We have his antlers. Now we have his woolly hat here, and then here we can do his eyes. They're right close together, like that. And then we have his muzzle, like that. And it's pretty circular. It's pretty much a round. His face is kind of round, where his mouth is and his nose. And his nose is almost to the top here. So let's get his nose there. All right, now always remember when you're drawing anything in pencil, it never looks nearly as good as when you start to paint. So if you ever stop and you're looking at your pencil drawing, don't get discouraged whatsoever. Just remember that your painting is going to look so much better, because when you start going into paint and you're adding your colors and your shadowing, it'll take on a completely different and much better looking feel to it. So I've noticed this over many years of drawing and painting. Sometimes the drawing's not going to look right. It's not going to look exactly perfect. You don't have to worry about that. If you get it down somewhat close, it'll be okay. Trust me, you just got to keep going. And when you start painting everything and you're into the painting, getting the colors and the washes on, you'll notice that it looks 100% better. So just a word of encouragement there, because I know when I was first starting to draw and paint, it always looked like the pencil drawings were not looking good and weren't coming out right, and that's not the way to look at it. The pencil drawing is really, you only really start to see the results of the pencil drawing once you're in there painting and you've got a lot of paint on the paper and you're already in the middle of your painting, and then you can kind of see, oh wow, yeah, it looks so much better with the paint on there. So always keep that in mind. Never worry about your pencil drawing so much. You want to get it as accurate as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And it's not going to look great either. When you're doing your pencil drawing, a lot of times it doesn't look sometimes correct or right, so to speak. Never worry about it. Just keep going. So now we have a nice smile there. He's got a smile. He's happy. He's our happy reindeer. He's very happy, and he has a nice happy vest on. Vests are great, aren't they? They're nice and warm. You can move your arms around. You don't feel like you're kind of tied up. And so we're going to do his vest now. So we swoop around. His vest comes down like this. And there's a little bit of pants here. So we'll leave that there. Now, a little bit down from the top of his vest, We're going to go with the portion of the vest where the sleeves are, and then his arm and hand comes this way. And then he has his cuff there on his shirt. And then he has his thumb there, and then his pocket. And the other side. Okay, and then we have a little bit of detail on the vest. We'll do that. And we have some of the detail here on his vest. Some of those details of his vest. Now, if the details of the vest are not exactly accurate, no big deal. We're going to go up higher, there, and one more like that. So I put 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. You can minimize that and not worry about putting in the lines. This one here, when you put these lines in, then it's going to feel like that down vest type feel. If you leave the lines out, maybe it'll seem more like just a regular cotton vest or something like that. All right, so now this side over here. The vest comes over here. Now the vest is, if I look at the picture carefully, the vest is just a little bit over from the side of his mouth over here. So that's about right. So then I'm just going to go back up. And then we have his arm coming this way, and he's holding a lantern. And he's holding his lantern. He's got some light here. I'll just do the lantern. There's an oval on top, and then sort of like a cylinder shape underneath that, and then the square. Like that. There we go, we just did the little lantern there. And so let's keep working here. If you want to take a break, sometimes drawing can be a little fatiguing if you're working, so you can take a break here. His arm is here, and then I'm going to do the details around the vest here, and then I'll kind of try to follow the same lines here. 1, 2, 3, and 1 there. And again, you'll notice that once we start painting, it's going to look really great. The drawing doesn't look all that incredible. It looks all right. Some of it looks kind of funny. But once you start painting again, you'll notice it looks much, much better. It doesn't really... Pencil sketching doesn't always look so good when it's in its early stages before painting. So we... Okay, so we have his jeans now here, his belt, and now we have his boots here, his work boots. And let's see if we can... His work boots are here. And you can make his work boots a little bigger if you want. I'm making them a little bigger to exaggerate them a little. that. And we'll shadow the boots and everything once we start painting. So that looks pretty good. So now we've rendered everything really nicely. We have the pants and the... You can step back and look at your drawing a little bit, see if you have anything you can fix up a little bit before you start painting. And then you can also paint in changes when you're painting. All right, so we spent a good amount of time here with our drawing, but we find that it looks actually quite good. So the only thing, I think I could make the antlers bigger, I think. I'm looking at my photograph and I think the antlers, we could just go a little larger, so I'm just going to redraw those a little bit higher. Same thing over here. So I just added a little more to the antlers. I think that looks better. All right, so we have our happy holiday reindeer here, and he looks fun. He looks excited for the holidays. He's got his lantern. We have to put the candle in there. And I hope you're excited too for the holidays. It's always fun. Just enjoying the holiday times, relaxing a little, getting together with our family, all the fun things of the holidays. And I will do a little bit of the background, but I'm going to try to keep this mostly just the figure. But maybe we'll do a little stonework here. There's some stonework behind him. So maybe we'll do a couple bits of stonework here. Maybe just to kind of make it like a weighted feel. So if we have some stones here at the bottom of the picture, that should be fine. Maybe a little vertical trim here for the doorway. But we're just going to leave those subtle. We just want to have some interest to the picture. And we can always adjust it a little bit when we're painting. But that's good. So we have our sketch in. Looks good. Again, don't worry if your sketch doesn't look perfect. That doesn't matter. Once you start putting that paint on the paper, you're going to notice it'll just look 100 times better. Okay, so we're going to take a break. We did a lot of sketching and a lot of contour drawing here. We'll come right back after about a 15-minute break, and we'll start painting. Forgot to mention, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, please. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when we also create our new videos. We have new videos coming out all the time here on my channel, as you know. We're doing a lot of drawing videos now, so I'm increasing my videos so that all of you that want to start practicing up on a regular basis with contour drawing and sketching, you can do that. You just take some 10-15 minutes of a portion of your time during the week, maybe once or twice, and you start drawing. Once you do that, then you'll find you'll start doing it even more often than that. But if you can get at least 1 or 2 days in a week with some sketching and contour drawing, you're gonna start to pick up and start doing it more frequently. It's just a matter of the habit of doing it once or twice a week. Then it becomes, you'll do it 3-4 times. Next thing you know, every day you'll be sketching and contour drawing. So hit that subscribe button. Stay right here on this channel. You're going to get all your practice in on your drawing as well. We do paintings every week, as you know. If you're new to the channel, you'll notice if you go back into my archives a little bit in YouTube, you'll notice I have hundreds of paintings. We do them every week, every type of painting in watercolor that you can imagine. Seascapes, landscapes, cityscapes, figure work. We do flowers, still life. We do pretty much everything. So come on by and on a regular basis, and we'll have a lot of fun. We'll do our watercolors, our sketches, our contour drawing, and we're going to just get better and better as we go. Okay, so we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and we did our pencil sketch. Really, we did a contour drawing here. We just took our time. We started in one place. Worked our way around slowly. We're working from a iPhone. So you can see I have my iPhone here. I have it set up across from me. So I have my art table set up. And then I have a little small wooden easel across from me on my art table. I stand at my art table. I feel more comfortable standing when I'm recording. If I'm doing regular paintings in my studio, I usually sit down in a nice lawn chair that I have set up, a nice comfortable lawn chair. And so I'm going to put this across from me here. Just maybe a couple quick things just to notice when we're doing this painting. We're just going to key in on the shadows. You can see the shadows are underneath the antlers here. So the light's coming from above more or less on this painting. So the light's coming from above. You have some shadowing underneath the antlers on this side under here. Some shadowing on the fur of his hat. There's more shadowing underneath by his chin on his mouth. Our fun and friendly reindeer here. He's happy for the holidays. He's got his lantern and his boots on. He's ready to trek through the snow if he has to have a good time. And so he's got his nice red vest on and red hat matching. So he's happy, and we're going to paint him, and we're having a good time here. So again, we're just looking at the shadow patterns. The shadow patterns are very important. The light, of course, too, as well. When we paint shadows, that creates light. So you could say that when you're painting your shadows, you're creating some light in your picture, in your painting. So we'll leave white of the paper for some of the tops of the antlers, and then underneath we'll do shadowing. We'll do shadowing underneath the fur of his hat where his eyes are. The underside of his chin has more shadowing, more bright paper, white paper on the top of his nose. More shadowing under his boots in this area here. There's more shadowing, and then out here in the light, his boots are more picking up some light from above. So basically the light again is coming from above, so you'll notice the shadowing is sort of on the undersides of most of the subject matter of this painting. Just a little key thing to note. You can also do a very quick sketch of this, our reindeer here, and then do some pencil shadowing first, so that when you're painting you can refer back to that as well. If you kind of get sometimes when we're painting, we so much things are going on at one time, we can kind of lose direction on where our shadows are going to be. So if we did a quick sketch, let's say we did a quick sketch of just like a sketch like this almost, right? Like a hat, antlers, like this, and the boots. You do a quick sketch like this, and then you just put some shadows like this on your paper, like that. And you put some shadows underneath, just like a note for yourself. Okay, the shadows are underneath the antlers, underneath the face, underneath the hat is some shadowing, underneath the boots are some shadowing. There's some shadowing underneath his vest and his shirt. And then that's kind of, if you do a quick shadowing pattern with a quick sketch like this, just something to sit on the side of the table where you work, or however you're working in your sketchbook. You have a little type sketch like this maybe taped to your sketchbook, or however you're working, just so you kind of might have a little more of an easier time once you start painting. So I'm going to leave that across from me as well. I'm going to take my iPhone, put that across from me. We're going to paint. I'm going to paint from my iPhone photograph. And I'm going to use a larger brush here. I might try to do this. I'll use a 6. This is a 6 Raphael brush, watercolor brush, round, sable. That should be, we might need a smaller brush, but I think that might be good. So we'll start out with that. And I think I'll start out with the red vest. So we'll take some alizarin crimson, rose madder, cadmium red. We'll get our warm reds here. We even have some burnt sienna. And then we need to add a little bit of blue, warm and cool. So I'll take some cerulean blue up here, and we'll start to do our reds here. And we should have, I'm going to go straight into the paint. I'm going to rinse my brush, dry my brush off, and then I'll go straight into the red, cadmium red. It's a little darker over here. So I'm going to go with some alizarin crimson and the blue, like that. So there's more shadowing under here. And I'm just carefully going to put our paint on, swoop that around. We can add some shadowing later after this dries, so you can keep in mind that we can add darker shadows over the top of our wash here, our red wash. So I'll add some darker shadows in where these lines are along the vest here. And we'll just there we go. I'm just going to keep mixing up my reds, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, rose madder, and we'll just like that. You can minimize your painting if you want and not go with as many details. That's fine too. I'm going to be careful to paint around his thumb here. And we have his cuff there. He looks comfortable, nice and warm in the cold, cool weather. It's winter time, it's the holidays. And we're going to go cadmium red here. Look at that, isn't that exciting? The red, cadmium reds and the alizarin crimsons. See, already, it looks so much better, right? Well, you know, again, you do those pencil sketches and the contour drawings, they only look okay. You start adding, add in your paint and oh, it just looks so much better. As you can see, it's really looking good now. We've got some exciting colors on the paper. And I'm going to leave a lot of white paper. So I'm just going to try to be very aware of that I don't want to paint everything. I want to leave a lot of white paper. So I'm going to get in my reds first. Those are the most exciting colors that we have right now here on this paper, and we'll use those as they're exciting. We'll leave those like that, and that's really that's perfect. It's all right, now let's get into blue. We have some blue, cerulean blue. His pants are cerulean blue. His jeans, he's got some nice jeans on here. Maybe they're pants or jeans. They look good. A little bit of Prussian blue. Let's add some exciting colors here. Let's not be boring. Purple too. Let's add some purple to the jeans. So we're mixing in all three colors, purple, Prussian blue, and cerulean blue. There we go. And what we can do is, we'll add in some darker shadows, maybe. Once we finish the jeans and we let them dry, we'll add in some shadowing. That looks good. Sometimes you can use the paintbrush. You can rinse off your paintbrush, dry it off with a little bit of tissue, or if you wear an apron, dry off your brush on some tissue, rinse it, dry it off, and then you can lift some paint too. If you can add some light. And remember, this is Fabriano paper. It's really good paper. You can, with the better papers, you can do all these like fun things where you can lift some paint off. You can add another wash on top of another one while it's a little bit wet or damp, and you tend to have a better time of it. When I use student grade paper, and I do use student grade paper a lot when I'm practicing, I notice it doesn't give you as much time to work on doing little bits of extra paint into a wash when you're working. So just always be aware of that. Better paper is much easier to work with. You have a lot easier time working with a better paper, a more quality paper, let's say. Fabriano, Arches, and then Canson is good. I know there's a lot of good papers out there, but Arches and Fabriano, I find they're really excellent. So a little bit of burnt umber and a little bit of cerulean blue, and we'll do some of our shadowing on our hat. So he's wearing a Christmas hat with some of that woolly so there we go. Got some of that woolly hat. You could tap on it a little bit, make it look that woolly kind of look to it. Tap on some of there, like that. And then we can go in with some French ultramarine blue, make it a little darker. Burnt umber, French ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, French ultramarine, a little bit of Prussian. Burnt umber, Prussian blue. And we add a little dark there. See that? That's the shadow. There we go. Just a little bit of that shadow, and then we'll do his eyes. Let's leave a highlight in his eyes. A little bit of white paper in his eyes. We'll do his nose. There's some light on the top of his nose, so we'll leave his nose like that. And I'll rinse the brush off and okay, and then we could use a little more of this here. We have our burnt umber, cerulean blue, burnt umber. We could do a little we're going to do his mouth here. He's got a smile. He's happy. It's the holidays. And let's not do anything more now. Let's leave the eyes and the hat in the face. Let's leave that as it is. We can add some shadowing to the antlers. So I would use a little bit of this here, burnt umber, French ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, and do some of the shadowing under the antlers here. Just like that on the underside of the and a little bit of the blue over here. So I'm just going to add a little variety. Some cerulean blue, purple, and Prussian blue there. And you'll see that we're going to go around the antlers in a little while. We'll do it right now, actually. Let's do that. Let's get some more of that warm. And we're going to go around the antlers. So we're going to do a little bit of wash there. And I mix up my three cooler colors, purple, cerulean, and Prussian blue. A couple little splashes. Let's do a little bit of raw sienna. And then we'll do some work on the boots here, and that's why I'm going to add some of that warmer raw sienna up here. We're having fun here, aren't we? Look at this. You know what? Let's give it a break now. Let's take a quick break. We've done a lot already. We did the red vest. We did the blue jeans. We did the antlers. We did the shadows on the bottom of the antlers. And then we painted around the tops of the antlers with some wash from the background. So we have some background colors we're starting to work in now. You can minimize that a lot and just do a little bit of background color right where the antlers are, and then just kind of leave it as is. I did a little more background color here, but that's fine. Like over here, this is more minimal, right? Where the background colors are. So you can do a little more, or you can do less background colors. Just a little bit around the antlers, the top sides of the antlers, just to kind of it's up to you. You can minimize or add more things to your painting. There we go. Now I'm going to shadow underneath here. Burnt umber, cerulean blue, French ultramarine blue, a little bit of a dark. Okay, he's got a little bit of There we go. So I just add a little more shadow under here. Like that. And I think I could do better, maybe a little bit more careful painting of the nose here. Let's try to French ultramarine blue, burnt sienna. All right, and now we'll do a little more, and then we'll take a break. Let's do a little bit more. We'll keep working our way here. Olive green and some chromium of oxide. That looks good. So here he's got his mittens on, his green mittens. And we'll just lighten it up a little bit by drying off the brush, rinsing and drying off the brush. It's a little darker on the bottom. There we go. Looks good. We're going to add some green here and there. I always say, try to remember to add, if you're going to add any new colors into your painting, try to add it in a few spots around the painting too as well. That'll just ensure that you're not going to have a painting that is sort of looking like kind of lopsided or non-harmonious. Like, there's a harmony to painting. If you can keep your colors harmonizing throughout the entire painting, you're better off. So if I add some new green here to my painting, where his mittens are, let me add some green over here, some green over here, add some green just a little bit everywhere. Even if it's a little light wash, that's enough that it will tie everything together and make it look much better. All right, so now let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some more painting with the lantern, some of the stonework. The boots, we're going to do a little darker darks underneath the bottoms of the boots. And I think we're pretty much good. We'll have a finished painting. Could be a card too. Could be a small little painting we can put on our table to remind us of the holidays and Christmas time and fun. So we'll be right back. And again, I forgot to mention, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're going to be doing paintings like this all the time. Numerous times during the week, we're going to do drawings, paintings. On the weekends, we do especially full-size paintings from start to finish, so you can get an idea of how to paint and draw and paint a painting watercolor style from the start to finish, all the steps in between, so you don't feel like you are not getting a full idea of how to go about creating your watercolors. So we'll be right back. We're going to let this dry a little bit, and then we'll get right back to painting. Okay, so we're back and we're continuing on. We're going to try to get some more darks in here on the boots, on the bottom of the boots of our fun and friendly reindeer here. It's the holidays and it's exciting, and hey, this is all about the holidays. Enjoy, do some sketching, do some painting, just have fun with it. Get the colors on the paper, get some pencil sketches on there, some contour drawing, get some paints on there, have a good time. That's that's what it's about, just having fun with it, enjoying the time. We're not creating a masterpiece here, we're just having fun. We're doing a nice little composition. So right now I'm going to look for, okay, I have my, all right, I found a smaller brush. This is a 5 travel brush, Da Vinci travel brush. We're going to use that to get a little more finer details. We're going to also we'll clean up our palette a little bit. It's always good to start out with fresh, clean paint. Makes the painting a little more fresh looking with nice pure colors. Okay, so let's maybe we'll go with some cerulean blue, some purple, some Prussian blue, just a little bit here, and then some rust sienna. Let's just do some so a little bit of definition around the antlers here. So if we can get a little bit of that definition on the antlers over here, like this. And then fade it to very light, a light wash over here, but have it a little darker over here on this, over here, this side. It doesn't get lost in the picture. So if you can get a few spots here and there of your antlers with a little bit of a darker dark, that will actually help to have those antlers, you know, stand out a little bit, but not take over the picture. So in essence, you want to have some areas where you go around shapes with crisp lines, and then other areas where you want to leave it sort of blending in with the background, like over here with the shadows. You can kind of see the, this is our pencil line that we drew the antlers here. And you can kind of see how the background color blends in with the shadow on this side of the antler. You want to have those blended areas where the antler sort of disappears into the background, giving you like a nice soft look. And then also some areas where you go in with some darker lines and washes, where you can kind of go around and have that crisper edge on the antler so you can kind of see it. And then we could do the same over here, maybe a little bit there. That can blend in, that's fine. I think that's good. That looks good. Enough detail around the antlers that we can see them and know that they're antlers, but we're not making it dark all the way around the antlers where it kind of just takes over the whole painting, and then all we're looking at is the antlers, because there's these really cut and paste looking shapes around here. So the idea is, if you can get some soft edges and some hard edges, like on this side over here, and here, and here, and over here, if you can get these hard edges, those look good, but then you keep some soft edges like over on this side, that looks really good. That really gives you that soft kind of feel of three-dimensional look, where some of the edges are blending in with the background, and that's how it really looks in real life, actually. When you look at objects, they sometimes fade into the background, and sometimes you have those crisp edges, those dark edges. So let's keep those dark edges on some areas and the light edges on others. and we'll be good. So that's another perfect. Okay, so let's get into a little more French ultramarine blue, burnt umber. Let's get our darks for our boots here. Some raw sienna, let's mix in that. Okay, let's look and take notice of and we're going to do some darks there. Then we can lighten up a little bit just to change around the look. And then we'll add some shadow. If we just touch that line there of the bottom of the boots a little bit with some purple and blue, we get that nice shadow look. And if you ever put down some wash and you don't think it looks great, no problem. You dab it up. Okay, let's get some more darks here. I'm just adding some darks here on the boots. And then blending it up, softening the edges here. And it's a little bit darker in between here, so we'll make these dark in here. And it's darker under here, under the pants, and in between the two boots. So we'll make sure we keep those darks there. And we soften out those edges there. All right, and then let's let that go for a few. Let's try to get some stonework in here. A couple bits of stone. And I'll use this for the effect of blending some edges. Again, we can't have all hard edges everywhere, so when we do this stonework, we're blending some edges, softening and blending some edges here and there. That looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna get some of the colors on here that we already have used. And a couple splashes here and there. And maybe that's a stone there. Okay, so we did some background colors. That helps the painting. But again, you can go very minimal and just make this painting really the figure. It's, you know, the reindeer itself. You don't have to do as much background. I'm liking the background. I like the background a lot, but don't feel like you have to do a lot of background like this. Feel free to do just a little touch of background here and there. Almost none. You can almost make it a wash of like maybe some blues, cooler colors, and some warmer colors mixed, just to outline the figure here and there, to lose some of the edges in here and there. But essentially, I think we used our background to help us make this painting look better, so that we have sort of a three-dimensional look to it. Let's do the French ultramarine blue. We're going to do the lantern, French ultramarine blue, and some burnt umber, alizarin crimson. Really good, nice, good dark. And let's do that. And there we have our lantern. And a little bit of background around the candle. Let's see if we can get that. That looks good. So we get that candle. And that looks fine. We could add a little more detail once this dries, just to fix up a little bit of the lantern. Some of our washes got a little bit diffused and kind of, we could fix that up a little bit once it dries. So let's do that. I'm going to lift some paint like that, and then we'll go back in and we'll do some, we could do a little more detail here. We could do some detail to the vest. Let's do that. There we go. Again, with the vest, very sparse, not too much detail. A couple lines here and there. I'm using that dark there, very lightly. just to get some more definition there. There we go. And a little bit of shadowing over here. Okay, I hope we're not doing too much detail here. I think we're okay. This looks pretty good. Again, we'll let this dry and we'll do a little more of a touch-up on the lantern. I noticed my washes were, I started painting over the top of some wet washes with some darker color, and the washes got a little bit, they started to blossom and balloon out and cause a little bit of a issue there. So I just quick tapped up with a tissue. If this dries, after 10-15 minutes, it'll be fine. We'll go back. We'll just touch up a little more with the darks on this lantern, and we're good. We'll have a finished painting here, and just a small composition. Again, have fun with this. It's the holidays. Let's have a good time. Let's paint our favorite holiday characters. You can do reindeers. You can do any type of fun characters from cartoons and so forth. Have a good time with it, and we're going to come right back, and we'll just do a few more touch-ups to this. All right, hey, we're back. We're going to finish up this painting. We're going to have a great time doing it. Actually, hey, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I always mention this during my videos occasionally. And also thumbs up, too. If you really like this video, thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. Thumbs down is good, too. It lets me know, hey, maybe you're not enjoying these as much as I think you are, but I think you really enjoy this video. This is a real fun holiday-type painting, drawing and painting. We're doing a simple reindeer. And it's just so much fun, and it brings us into the mood of the holidays and fun and gets-togethers and our families. And so let's keep going here. I just noticed that we just finished up the wash that kind of got out of control on us. So we're gonna continue with this wash after it dries. So now it's dry completely 100%. So now we can just get our lantern in to look good like that. Before it was having an issue because the washes were kind of flowing out and causing an issue. So there we have it. Now, let's do the laces of the boots. Let's do them in darks, though. If we paint some X's on the boot area, we'll get our laces without worrying about it. Let's do it. See that? So if you see white laces, you can do them in darks. It has the same effect. And some more darks there. And some more cerulean blue in the jeans for the shadowing here. And then a little bit of darks here. And we're just kind of getting some shadowing in and some light. That looks pretty good. And we have his belt here. Matching belt. He matches his belts to his boots. The reindeer is trying to make his attire look good. There we have it. He is looking good. We have pretty much everything completed. I think maybe a little bit more shadowing here, maybe on some of the stones. We can do a little bit of mortar joints along, so if we paint our stone just a little bit away from the other stones, we get the mortar joint look. And we could take some white, titanium white, maybe for some mortar joints there. So you can add in some titanium white with a little bit of raw sienna or some yellow ochre. And you can make some mortar joints for the stonework. And I did a couple more laces there. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's, one more few. Maybe a little bit of shadowing on the glass here. And I'll make a little round cylinder shape there for the candle. And then we'll do a small wick for the candle there. And we have our happy reindeer. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll peel off some of the tape and see if we can, we'll zoom in a little bit. And probably what I'll do is I'll leave this zoomed in on our figure, on our reindeer. And this way you can draw and paint from this. I think this is probably better to draw and paint from my drawing and my painting here, because I think it's more fun and kind of free looking, not so much just from a photograph, but that's up to you. You're the artist. You can, you know what's best for your own art. So I will move this over here and we'll zoom in. See how this looks. Okay, so I hope you like this, and let's move the phone over here. So we can see these side by side. It's a lot of fun to do these, especially like figures like this, because you have a lot of like liberty as an artist to kind of have fun with it. You can exaggerate things a little bit. You don't have to worry about getting everything perfect. So you can see that my painting is not perfect at all. It's just like a fun composition of what I'm seeing here in the photograph. And I hope you'll do this. I hope you'll give it a try. And we're going to be doing more of these as time goes on. We'll do a few more fun characters like this here and there. And as well as our regular normal paintings that we do every week. All right, so I hope everyone had fun. Everyone enjoyed the process of our contour drawing, sketching, contour drawing, and then our final watercolor painting of this fun character. Our reindeer, and it's the holiday reindeer, Christmas time. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.